I posted 49 covers on my YouTube channel, and if you can count, that means my next cover is going to be my 50th cover. That's a lot of covers. Obviously, some of these covers aren't as good as the others. I don't know if that's the proper phrasing, but to me, they're not as good as the rest. So I wanted to talk about if I were to cover some of the songs I've already covered a second time, what songs I would do and why I would cover them a second time. My first real cover was Atlantic by Grayscale. Obviously I'd do this one again, one, because it was my first real cover and I want to see, you know, how I've improved. But also I sang the acoustic version, and I feel like some of the low notes in that version are a little too low for me, where in the original I can hit most of the notes in that song because it's a little bit more in my range. Like, the original version's a little bit more in my range, so I feel like I would be better off doing that version instead of the acoustic version. The entirety of the album Umbra. I'm gonna go into specifics for some of the songs, but not all of them, but I feel like I butchered this album because I kind of cared more about getting the covers done instead of making them sound good. And now that I have, you know, a semblance of vocal skill and, you know, 3 vocal lessons under my belt, I think I could do a better job at actually making the covers try and sound good. Okay, now I'm gonna go into specific songs from Umbra that, like, I noticed something specific that I didn't like. I did the thing, pitched it up, I sang up an octave. I don't know how to explain it. I sang it to where, like, I pitched it up. Broke down in the waiting room, spent 30 days since I talked to you. Broke down in the waiting room, spent 30 days since I talked to you. And I don't like when I do that. I remember with my Want cover, in my vocal lesson, Josh suggested that I do that with the verses, and I told him I don't like doing that because it sounds funky. And I did that with Live Again, and it sounds funky, and I don't like it. So I think if I were to sing this song again, I would try a little bit harder to hit those low notes instead. Say it to my face, say it to my face, blah, blah, blah. Say it to my face, 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 say it to my face. Hey, so luckily, Babylon was literally next in my, like, I'm trying to do this in the order of how I did the covers, and I also did the same thing where I pitched it up. She knows the worst parts of me. But I didn't mention it when I was recording because I didn't know until I was editing that clip where I did all of Umbra. So, yeah, I'd also do the same thing, try to hit the low notes better. Next song. Light was so bad that I didn't tag Grayscale in it. I tagged Grayscale in every single other one of my Umbra covers, but I didn't tag them in my Light cover, if I remember correctly. And I want to redeem myself. So I felt awkward singing Motown because Motown's about sex. I sang that song last year, so I was a minor. Now that I am not a minor, I feel like I'd be a little bit more comfortable with it. Does that make any sense? So I'd cover Bad Love again just to piss off Skylar. Boo. 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 Stinky. It's stinky. I'm kidding. The day I covered that song, I had to ask Grayscale through their community text thing what the line "can't stop with speedballs" meant. Now she can't stop with speedballs. Because that's not what I thought the lyric was, to be completely honest. And when I asked them that, I got lectured about drugs. So I was a little embarrassed, but now that I know the lyric, I feel like I could, you know, be a little bit less embarrassed when I try to sing that song. So I think that's it for Umbra. Jessica, 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 Jessica. So this one's kind of similar simple. When I covered Jessica, I'm pretty sure I printed out the lyrics and I taped them to my tripod like right under the camera, so I like kind of looked at them while I was singing the song. Jessica. But now I know the words to it, so I would cover it again without looking at the words. Fake Love is the first Cemetery Sun song I covered, and it was also the cover that led me to finding out that Josh is a vocal coach. This one I would want to cover just to kind of see how I've improved. I worked with Where Were You by Girlfriends in 2 out of my 3 vocal lessons because I was auditioning for America's Got Talent with this song. I would just kind of want to see, because I covered Where Were You before I even did my first vocal lesson, I would want to see if I've really improved with that song specifically or not. Issues is just fun to sing. I mean, it's my favorite Cemetery Sun song. Can you blame me for having it in this list? But also, it's funny because when I covered Issues, I printed out the lyrics and I taped them to my tripod and I looked at the words while I was covering it. So I shouldn't even Sash. And now it's my favorite Cemetery Sun song. Irony! I messed up the words in my Wish It Was Love cover. I'm a little bit embarrassed, so if I were to cover Wish It Was Love again, I'd get the lyrics right this time. So I posted my Our Time to Go cover when I had COVID. It was like, not the tail end of COVID, but kind of the tail end of like my not being able to sing symptoms. I covered it in my pajamas, and I just feel like I could have done better if I waited just like a couple more days. So I am scared to listen back to really any of my older covers, but specifically this one because of the bridge, because it's a spoken bridge, and it's kind of the first time I did anything like that. Hate fills my heart like a knife through a rose. Blacked out the moon, I cry like a wolf. Bygones be bygones, so push me aside. Who knew there was beauty in living a lie? I'm wondering how I could be so stupid. Took some time to slow down. How do I slow down when I like how your eyes burn holes through me? And every little thought how consumes me. But I feel like now I would do better because 1, Josh says my confidence is improved, and 2, I covered 19, which is like 99% speaking. So like, I feel like I could do better with that entire song. Oh, and I also just remembered, I literally just remembered while recording this. This is not in my notes. Here's proof. I don't know if you can see it. I'll take a screenshot. I messed up. I don't want to say I messed up the words, but I messed up. I don't know how to explain it. I talked about this in my Talking About Cemetery Sun songs video, but in the chorus after the bridge, it goes, I've been kicking myself when I'm down, but then in the background it goes, oh, oh, and I did that for the entire song. So when I'm down, I suck. And then I listened back to the actual song and I'm like, wait, it does not do that. So that's another thing I would fix if I covered Codeine again. I'm so late. 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 I feel like with this one I just kind of did bad. I don't know. I'm a little scared to listen back to it, but I just remember not doing as good as I thought I could with this song, so I would want to cover it again. Stop! with this song, I just feel like I could have done better. I think what really got me were the low notes in the verse. I just wanna impress you, you're an ace of spades. Like, those low notes, they're pretty easy to hit, honestly, but I guess I was just not having a good vocal day when I recorded that cover because I'm like, oh man, these low notes are killing me. So this is the last song I would cover again, and it's Fly by Cemetery Sun. I just don't like the way I say sugar at the beginning. Sugar, sugar, hold me down, love me now. So yeah, those are the songs that I would cover again, and why I would cover them again. If you liked this video, comment down below, hit subscribe, hit the bell icon, share with your friends, all that crazy, wacky, weird, amazing, fun stuff. Thank you so much for watching, and I never know how to end these things.